So we saw que is a very flexible word. By itself, it can mean what, it can mean that, as in I know that, je sais que. It can mean than, like in bigger than. And it's also used, que, to build other words. How was because,
parce que,
parce que. And the word for what, when what isn't a question, when we say, for example, I know what you want. How is that what?
ce que,
And we had, apart from que and quoi as what, when we want to ask a question, we also had something that meant literally, what is it that?
qu'est-ce que,
Qu'est-ce que? So there again we have que. So que is quite busy, but this ce, which means this, that, or sometimes it, depending on the most fitting translation, is also quite busy. We have it in ce que, qu'est-ce que, parce que. What was the word for is? est, and we hear e. It is, this is, that is c'est. So ce and e contract and we get c apostrophe est, c'est.
c'est,
Like in c'est la vie, that's life. How would you say it is different?
c'est différent.
Very good. C'est différent. We saw that word ending ent are the same in English and French. They come from Latin. And although ent is not pronounced on the end of verbs, it is on other words. Although not the final T, of course. So we get différent. C'est différent. How might patient be in French? The ti of patient, that sounds sh in English, here it sounds like an S in French. Ti sounds like si there. So how would that be, patient?
Passion,
Which sounds very much like passion in French. Passion, patient. How would you say he is patient? He is patient.
il est patient.
Il est patient. So words ending ent are most often the same in French, and this also goes for words ending ant. So how might you say extravagant in French? Extravagant.
Extravagant.
Important.
Important.
The im now gives us a combination or a syllable, which is like important. How would you say it is important? What was our word for it?
C'est.
Ce. And it contracts with e and gives us
C'est.
So it's important. It is important.
C'est important.
C'est important. And we could also have an optional but very common liaison here. C'est important. C'est important.
C'est important.
That's the T of the EST, now of E. How would you say he is arrogant? He is arrogant.
Il est arrogant.
Il est arrogant. Or il est arrogant with our optional but very common liaison. Il est arrogant. They are is il or elle, sont. That's spelled S-O-N-T, sont. S-O-N-T. So how would you say they are arrogant? Talking about a male or a mixed group, they are arrogant.
Ils sont arrogants.
Very good. Ils sont arrogants or ils sont arrogants. We could have a liaison there with the T on the end of sont and arrogant. Ils sont arrogants. We also get an S on the end of the adjective there, on the end of arrogant, to refer to them, but we don't hear that S. The TS on the end of arrogant forms one consonant syllable, no, and it's silent. What was the word for hospital? Hôpital. How would you say, this is a hospital? For this we can use ce. This is a hospital.
C'est un hôpital.
C'est, we have a contraction between ce and e, no? So we get c'est and then un hôpital. We have an obligatory liaison there between un and hôpital. Un hôpital. Hôpital carries two patterns. We've seen the missing S when we have SP, ST, SC, like in forest, forêt, school, école, piste, bête. So we have that pattern, but also there is a pattern with the AL ending, like in that French-English expression, femme fatale in French, fatal, fatal, hospital, hôpital. So how might you say vital in French?
Vital.
Vital, like in vie, no? Like in c'est la vie, that's life. Vital is of life. Musical,
Musical.
musical. Metal,
Metal.
metal. Legal,
Legal.
legal. We have an E here, no, and the E has an accent on it, so it's a stronger E. Legal.
Legal.
How would you say it is vital? It is vital.
C'est vital.
C'est vital. It is not legal.
Ce n'est pas légal.
Ce n'est pas légal. So here, ce, C-E with no accent is pronounced with that soft E, ce. The ne and e contract together, so we get ce n'est pas légal.
Ce n'est pas légal.
How would you say ideal?
Idéal. Idéal.
Ideal, ideal. Good. So we have I like in ink, E like in elephant, ideal. How would you say? It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Ce n'est pas idéal.
Ce n'est pas idéal. Good. And we could have an optional liaison here. Ce n'est pas idéal. And we can note how we are pronouncing the last consonant, no, on these words like ideal, legal, even though there is no final E on these words. This is the case with just a few consonants in French, such as the L. Final Ls are pronounced in French, like in il. General in French is général.
Général.
So GE, for example, gives us this je sound, like in the word for I, je. So general becomes général. These E's have accents on them. Général.
Général.
So how would you say urgent?
Urgent.
Urgent. Urgent. Again, we have the GE, and this softens the G, we get je, like in manger. How would you say it is urgent?
C'est urgent.
C'est urgent. Or c'est urgent. So, ce refers to a matter. So it refers to like a situation or doing something. If we say, for example, le rendezvous, the meeting is urgent when we say it is urgent, then you refer to a noun. You must say he is urgent, looking to the gender of le rendezvous, which is masculine, no le. So rather than it is urgent, c'est urgent, you will say he is urgent if you're referring to a masculine noun like the meeting, le rendezvous. So how would that be?
Il est urgent.
Il est urgent. Il est urgent. To get li, like in generally, urgently, ideally, we will add mon to the end of the word. This is E-M-E-N-T, but in sound, mon. So how was ideal?
Idéal.
And ideally?
Idéalement.
Idéalement. General?
Général.
Good. Général. And generally?
Généralement.
Généralement. Generally, he is at the hospital. For at, we can use a, same as to. Generally, he is at the hospital.
Généralement, il est à l'hôpital.
Very good. Généralement, il est à l'hôpital. And e and a can also give us a liaison there. Généralement, il est à l'hôpital. How would you say total?
Total.
Total. And totally?
Totalement.
Totalement. What was to do?
Faire.
Faire. And we said that the fact bit in perfect is related to faire, and perfect in French is parfait. Parfait.
Parfait.
P-A-R-F-A-I-T. And of course that T on the end is silent. parfait.
Parfait.
How would you say it is perfect?
C'est parfait.
C'est parfait. So this refers to a situation, not a noun, not to something that we have named. C'est parfait. And we saw how in French, when we do refer to a thing, we have to think about the gender of it. When we say, for example, it is perfect. So if we mean le garage, when we say it is perfect, le garage, we would say he is perfect rather than it.
Il est parfait.
Il est parfait. Le garage est parfait. Il est parfait. So we have le garage, which is the garage. And how was the station?
La gare.
La gare. La gare. And gare was G-A-R-E. No, so this E ending, as opposed to the age, A-G-E ending, is a very common feminine ending on nouns, no? La gare, la porte, la ville, la voiture. All with that E ending, which is for feminine nouns. And the same happens with adjectives describing words. Those words like perfect, urgent, ideal, those words we can put is in front of. These are adjectives. So adjectives, when they refer to females or feminine objects, also take an E on the end. So how would perfect, parfait, sound in the feminine?
Parfait.
How did it end? Ends with a T, like in English, no? P-A-R-F-A-I-T, parfait. So how would that be in the feminine, once we add our E on the end?
Parfait.
Parfait, parfait, good. It is perfect, and we mean a feminine thing like la voiture. So we're saying it is perfect, and we mean a feminine thing.
Elle est parfaite.
Elle est parfaite. No, so this can refer to the car, but it could also refer to a person. Elle est parfaite. But if you were to refer to a situation, it would be
C'est parfait.
c'est parfait. Good, and we go back to the masculine, parfait, which is also the neuter. So we saw briefly le rendezvous for meeting. We could also have la réunion, like reunion in English. Réunion.
La réunion.
La réunion. So if you were to say it is important, and in your mind you were referring to la réunion, how would that be?
Elle est importante.
Elle est importante. Good. So we add an E onto important, and we hear that final T then. Important. It is urgent. And again, we mean la réunion.
Elle est urgente. Urgente?
Elle est urgente, or elle est urgente. But if we just say it's urgent and we're referring to an action like doing something or something we just don't name, how would that be?
C'est urgent.
C'est urgent, c'est urgent. No, again we go back to the masculine, which is also the neuter, no, for when we're not really referring to anything. We also use the masculine. How was the house?
Les maisons. La maison.
La maison. And big was grand, grand.
Grande.
Too big is trop, trop grand.
Trop grande.
How would you say the house is too big?
La maison est trop grande.
La maison est trop grande. So with grande, G-R-A-N-D-E, I gave you the feminine. That's the feminine version of the adjective. What if you were to say the garage is too big?
Le garage est trop grand.
Le garage est trop grand. Good, now we don't hear the final D. No, we get G-R-A-N-D, and that D is silent. Trop grand. Well done.